What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome, everybody. How the
Hey.
heck are you? How is everybody? I think
Doing
we're
okay.
I think we're doing good. Okay, so quick question. Do we want background music or no background music?
Background music.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind?
I have this little thing called night driving.
Death metal.
Really?
Death metal would be good. Just a little background. The dulcet sounds of Todd's voice.
Ugh.
Good evening and welcome.
Oh no.
Yeah. Welcome to Evening Alpha, except it's not Evening Alpha. Tonight is something special. Tonight is what we're calling the Peep Show. Yes, I got it through HR.
No, he didn't.
The way you get it through sometimes is just by not mentioning it to your significant other or the rest of your team, for that matter. I mean, really,
Forgiveness, not permission, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Forgiveness, not permission. So the Peep Show, get it? Like, it's a sneak. It's a peep. It's an adult fantasy. I don't know. I got voted out over lip service. That was going to be the other one.
This is fine. Are we saying hello to everybody?
We're saying hello to everyone. We'll say hello to everybody and just say, J-Rod, Todd Galloway, let Melissa sit there and take this one over. What's up, everybody? Let's see who's in chat. This is gonna be a good night. So I got to tell you, there's gonna be a ton of spoilers. If you guys are interested in what's happening the rest of the year, you're gonna like it. What's up, Carrots? Welcome. Thank you for coming. Studio, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? Maximum beans being spilled, Willie D. Absolutely. Welcome. Hype, what's up? Yo. Hype, I got your message. I will respond as soon as I can. But thank you so much for coming. Rageous, what's up? Do it. Coffee, hey, what's up, Coffee? How you doing? Mastiff, welcome. J-Raw, of course, showing up, showing out. Master Chief, what's up, man? Welcome. Everybody get those likes up. That's right. We're going to spill some beans tonight. So we need some likes, some follows, some subscribes, some comments, some notification bellness, all that other stuff. Evening lip service. See, lip service is a winner. It's not really. I understand. I really do. I totally get it. The Peep Show is pretty funny. So let's just jump in. We're gonna talk about it. So this is the Community Peep Show, aka the Town Hall, for Monday, May 9th, 2022, which is tonight. We're gonna talk about the next really this quarter or next quarter. So you guys are gonna get a sneak peek at pretty much everything that we're doing. And we're so excited about this. Just as an FYI, small type on the screen, worth saying that all dates and schedules are subject to change. We're pretty confident we can hit the general months and stuff that we're going for, but as you guys will see, it's going to be a lot of stuff coming up. So we are going to give you the best approximate time in which we think we can deliver. And of course, we'll always keep you guys informed. But everything is doable, everything is in progress, and everything will be coming out. Hype says, bamf. We're excited too. Oh man, I'm so ready. Okay, you guys ready? Should we jump into this?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Melissa's like, yes, God, stop talking. Let's just go.
God.
All right. So first up, there are going to be spoilers, obviously. We're going to be letting you guys know pretty much everything that's going on within the next several months of AF. So if for whatever reason you decide you like to be surprised, you may want to bump out of this one just because we are going to be pretty much telling you our entire plan for the next several months. Dusty's laughing, so I'm gonna
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. You got a spoiler alert. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. All right. So here is what's on today's agenda. First, we're going to talk about where we've been. We're going to cover everything from the start of AF, from the launch last year, and move forward. So we're going to remind you of everything that we've done and everything that we've accomplished so far as a community and as a team. Then we're going to cover where we are right now, like what are the things that we have in progress right now and what is going on at this very moment. Then we're going to talk about where we're going. This is when we start talking about the future and future casting, about all of the future things that we have coming up in the next few months. And then we're going to open it up for Q&A, of course. What's up, Casper? Welcome. Great to have you here, man. All right, let's go. So first, we're gonna jump into the past. Little time machine. Load those. those few months ago, back in 2021, when life was simple.
So long ago.
Yeah, so long ago. Back when life was simple and the internet was young. In December, we launched Adult Fantasy. So we made history with the first real-time dynamic NFT featuring a patented layer 2 rarity protocol for collectible NFTs. One of the, we were kind of taking down a whole bunch of birds with one stone. Not only did we want to create an amazing character-based decentralized franchise, but we wanted to do it utilizing a technology that would bridge the gap that we saw early last year, what now people refer to as the mid-tier gap, that giant gap between the floor and the ceiling, right? You either gravitate towards the floor and you buy off the floor, or you're a whale and you go for the most valuable things. And pretty much anybody in the middle gets kind of stuck. In fact, anything that's not in the top 5 to 1% actually has a price range that's usually closer to the floor. They've proven that now, and there's a lot of charts and graphs that talk about that. We can talk about that at a later time. We launched this in December, and everything was right with the world. The end.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
So fun.
All right. So we launched in December. What else happened? So in January, we came back, and the first thing that happened in January is we had a fantastic article written about us from the Block Research called "Deciphering the Metaverse: The Emergence of Trading Card Game Innovation." For those that don't know, the Block Research is subscription only. It's mainly for investment firms and C-level executives at Facebook and Google and basically all the major Sand Hill Road venture capital firms. So it's a pretty awesome deal to be included in this. And inside of the article, one of the pull quotes that we were able to share is that they explain that adult fantasy is, quote, pioneering new mechanisms with regards to collecting and trading card games, TCGs. So it's pretty awesome that we were recognized for our flag placement. And it shouldn't be understated. It's a big deal. So that was January to present. So we didn't rest on our laurels. Starting in January, there was a tremendous amount of technology updates. And this I'm going to turn over to Flint and Melissa. I could read through these and we could talk about them. I'll just read the number and then.
Well, the first two are Flint.
All right.
Yeah.
So Flint, do you want me to read number 1 and 2, and then you can talk a little bit more about it?
Sure, let's do it.
Awesome. So number 1, NFT technology updates, better controls, visualization improvements, etc.
Yeah, so we did a few things post-release. There were some improvements that we wanted to make with the actual controls for the player, for viewing your token. Things like panning left and right, improvements to pan and zoom in general. We just made lots of little changes to make the experience a lot better. We made changes to visualization, such as high resolution thumbnails, improvements to showing that your NFT is changing over time in the thumbnail. Those green elements that show a change has happened. That sort of thing. And lots of stuff on the back end that we'll get to in point 2.
Awesome. Point number 2, backend server updates and prep work for future releases, a complete redesign.
Yeah, so this has really been the big thing that we've been working on. We got done with season 1 and we started brainstorming for what the future of adult fantasy might look like. We really wanted to build a system that we could build once and expand on, but use it for many releases over the coming years, many different kinds of releases. So we're rebuilding our backend technology that runs all of our grading systems, and rebuilding all the systems that drive the visualization of the player. It's going to let us do some really cool stuff, which we'll be talking about soon.
Awesome. And Regis, I see your question. Anybody, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in chat, and we'll answer them during the Q&A session at the end. But yeah, feel free. Any questions are welcome. Number 3, a complete smart contract redesign using a, quote, diamond and facet model, or EIP 2535.
Yes. So when we were looking at supporting, potentially, this is a part of a spoiler, multiple launches, then I wanted to be able to reuse a lot of what you always need. And there's a lot of the ERC 721 that you always need in a smart contract to make it that, and so that OpenSea sees it as that. And so there's a lot that sort of duplicated. And I was on the search for a way to not have to redo a lot every time we do a new launch. And so I found this EIP 2535, and it's a really great community. It's really well supported. More and more, if you've heard of proxy contracts, that's another word for it. It's becoming a more popular thing. Etherscan is adding more support. OpenSea is adding more support for it, and it's taking off because it's definitely makes it a more modular system. It makes it more easily upgradable if you have something that needs to change as far as making it better. But it's still blockchain. You can see what happens. It's all right there. So I've been working on that, participating in their Discord as well, and so we're going to get listed on a list of folks using it once we got everything shiny and all ready to go. And so we're doing that. All right. And that's it.
Ooh, right on. Number 4, gas reduction. Modifying Azuki's ERC 721A. Early tests show approximately $16 mint at 50 Gwei.
Yes. Also, depending a little bit on what ETH is on that day compared to USD. But it's so I'm gonna ride on the shoulders of Azuki. They did a really great job figuring out how, especially to mint multiples, for pretty much the price of one, and so it's really great, and they're updating it all the time. But to use it in a diamond facet, you have to refigure it a little bit. There's a storage is in the diamond. And so that is, I had to rework it a little bit to work with that. So, but if they make updates, I'll see them and I can incorporate those as well.
And I think what's really interesting about the way that, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is the marketer side of me, but one of the things that I find really interesting about the way that Melissa modified the Azuki ERC 721A is that not only does it benefit adult fantasy because we'll be able to use it for all of our future launches, meaning that as we make new projects and add new elements to the adult fantasy universe, we'll have the benefit of that gas savings, but any of our partners will as well, right? So we'll be able to, like, anybody who comes into our network that wants to partner also will have the benefit of Azuki's ER721A within this diamond facet model. So they get the benefit of the gas savings through 721A. They also get the benefit of having all of these. I've been describing it because I'm visual as a hub and spoke model. So with the core smart contract being deployed in one area, and then the development of all of these extensions being sort of the core growth of the system, so that as we come in as adult fantasy, or if a partner comes in, over time you end up having a buffet that you can pick from to say, well, I want this feature and I want to be able to do that and I want to be able to do this, and you get to kind of mix and match and put the puzzle together the way you want to put it together, while at the same time benefiting still from that gas savings, right? Mm-hmm. Which is pretty awesome. I'm excited, and it's been,
it's more like you take the whole wheel and put it onto another wheel, I would say.
Fair enough.
And maybe you take off a spoke or two that you don't need, but that's kind of how it is. So.
Awesome. So major props to both Flint and Melissa. They have been working incredibly hard to put all of this together, and I think based on what you'll see in the rest of our town hall tonight, it's going to pay off big time for everybody. I'm really excited about this. All right, next update. So that was from January to the present with the tech updates. In April, we launched something called the lore games. The lore games are used to create the overarching story beats for the adult fantasy universe. It's summoners and invite only. And once playtesting is complete, what we plan to do is open source the rules so that other teams or other people or other players can use it to world build and create stories. It doesn't have to be just used for NFTs. It's a game in itself, and it's designed. What we're doing is we're designing it as a way to create large, in-depth storylines that can be used for novels, film, TV, anything. We're just using it to set up our universe. It's been a tremendous amount of fun, and it's really been interesting to watch. I mean, we just, the first few rounds of playtesting was really just to kind of a little bit of it's very structured because we've created a set of rules, but it was very kind of throwing the spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks. And then we did that, which is most of what you see on this slide. I had to make it really small, and it's much bigger than this. And then what we started to do on last Thursday was push it through round 2, which is moving it into a little bit more of a traditional story structure. And so the result was pretty awesome. I mean, our first story was really tight. I mean, I think we were all like incredibly happy and maybe a little surprised that it actually worked. But but it did. It was great. Am I right, Flint?
Very, yeah. It was very surprising. it was funny. It was one of those things where it was a complete mess until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
total mess until it wasn't. And that's really what writing a writer's room is. And so what I mean by overarching story beats is that this basically, whereas everything is going to be community built and driven, we still want to make sure that we have a few fixed points in time so that we can go from point to point. It's actually very similar to animating, where the animation director or the lead animator will create keyframes. So you'll have pose 1 and then pose 10. So the beginning is here and the character has to end here. And it's up to the animator to kind of figure out how that character gets from point A to point B. And it's the same kind of thing within the context of large universal lore or canon. In order to give ultimate freedom, you still have to have a guideposts so you can kind of head into almost like a true north, right? You have to have that destination in mind. Otherwise, it's just chaos. So, and so it's been wonderful. And like I said, thank you to the summoners and everybody who's been coming out. If you have not attended and you want to attend, the best way to get an invite is honestly to participate in the Discord. So if you're super engaged and you're all over it, you may get an invite because we want to have people who contribute, right? This is about contribution. So the lore games started in April, and they will continue every Thursday for the foreseeable future because it really is working, and it's pretty awesome. So think of this as like the lore games as a 30,000 foot view of the universe. Also in April, we launched autographs. So we made history again as we continue on our mission to bridge the mid-tier rarity gap. I can't overstate how excited. I mean, autographs, man. Like it's so much fun. Not only is it fun to get, not only is it fun to do, not only is it fun to have like real, legitimate one-of-one autographs because each one is hand signed. But I also love the idea that we're still kind of destroying this myth of what the NFT collection can be. The NFT market as a whole has not yet caught up to actual collecting because there's so many new people who are either really Web3, hardcore Web3 based, or so focused on what's hot right now, they haven't taken a moment to actually say, wait, there's like several hundred years of collecting. The Medicis were collecting medieval paintings, oil paintings. Like there's a massive history of what works in collecting. And so, if nobody's gonna touch it, we're gonna be all over it because that's sort of the point, is to take a lot of these things that happened in Web 2.0 and pre-web collecting and actually move them forward because we know it works. And one of the things that I love about the autograph, besides how cool it is as an art object, is that it changes what is considered rare or special, right? You can have something that's a complete common card, whether it's from Adult Fantasy or wherever, and the minute it's autographed, it's no longer common. Now, where it sits, the market has to decide, right? But it is absolutely special and is no longer like those other common cards. So I think it is a big deal, and I think it is a sign of what you can do with real time or even just dynamic NFTs that change or evolve over time. I think it's a very big deal. You guys have anything you want to say about autographs, or I cover pretty good?
Nope.
Cool.
Hey,
Nailed
Todd, can I get your autograph?
No. Anyway.
Rude.
Yes,
Talk
of
to my
course.
agent?
We talked to my agent. Well, yeah, Melissa's the boss. It's pretty fun. It's pretty awesome. And look, we got Flint's autograph on the screen. It's pretty good. All right. So marketing updates, April and May. So same ways, I will go ahead and call them out. Dusty, we'll let you run with this. So number one, Discord community manager, Dusty Sky, taking charge. Woo!
All right. Well, so yeah, I became the community manager. I'm really excited for this opportunity. So some of the things we've been working on, the first thing, we really heard your feedback about the Discord, how it was maybe a little bit disorganized and it needed to be kind of brought into the future. So we started reorganizing the Discord. We've done a bit of that so far, and there's other ideas that we're working on to continue to refresh the Discord and kind of prepare it for larger volumes of new members. We started to lay kind of framework for daily updates. Like right now, every day we're doing a morning announcement about evening alpha and the evening games. And that's just something that we want to bring like transparency and information. And so we're going to continue to find ways that we can be more informative on a daily basis. Another thing that we've been working on, we've been trying to increase engagement. And so that kind of that includes those evening games, the evening alpha, and we've been looking for other ways to increase engagement. And we've been looking to start to host events for people in different time zones as well, because we do realize that we always do things in our evening time, and eventually we'd like to get to the point where other time zones can participate. Another thing that's really important that we've been doing is ramping up outreach to other like-minded projects. So I feel like when Adult Fantasy started, we were kind of an outlier, right? Like we're kind of the only project doing any kind of communal lore, community storytelling. And now if you kind of look through Twitter, you're starting to see like the storytelling scene coalesce. There's like a lot of projects that are doing kind of a similar thing to us, where whether they're making an animated show or a movie or comics, where the community gets to participate and create the lore with the team. And so we started reaching out to those like-minded projects who we think that our members would enjoy and that they would enjoy what we're creating, and maybe start to work with them a little bit more closely, either through partnerships or collabs or those types of things.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool to see that our original thesis from last year is not just holding true, but is exploding now. You know, it just shows that, you know, we were like, great minds think alike, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
you know, it's really cool. It's really cool to see because it's so needed and it's such an obvious. To me, it was, you know, and to us, it was the team. It was such an obvious thing. Like, hey, why can't we as a group and a community, like, start like creating stories and do what these big studios do on our own? You know, like, why can't we have control of this for once? And so it's really neat to see other people jumping into it, and I think you're going to see a lot of that with AMAs coming up and everything else.
Yeah, I'm amazed at what they're doing. I mean, it's very much what we're doing, just whether it's their own animation or sci-fi.
Yeah,
yeah, the same general concept of us. Let's all create this together.
Absolutely, and being able to see what other people are working on, and, you know, learn from their success and learn from their mistakes, and they can learn from our success and our mistakes. Like, it's going to make our corner of the Web3 space so much stronger. so much stronger, not just with a support network of like-minded projects, but from all of these different projects experimenting and trying new things. I mean, we've certainly learned things like there, other teams have said, yeah, we're going to try this. And we're like, oh my God, that's so cool. And vice versa, right? Like it's just a really good sharing environment. And there's a lot of really cool things that people are doing. It's really neat. So yeah, we talked a little bit about evening alpha and AMAs and after party game nights, partnership contests as a way of engagement. What about social media manager and Twitter takeover and makeover?
Yeah, so some of you might remember one of the first things that I did as community manager is kind of reach out to a lot of our members and see like some feedback. And you guys were brutally honest that our Twitter sucks. And so we kind of took a look at it and we're like, yeah, we need to improve our Twitter game a lot. So we've been looking for a social media manager, and we're getting close to finalizing a new social media manager. I think our goal is to kind of make Twitter like as fun as possible, so it's more representative of like our original project that's really amazing. And right now our Twitter's kind of not so representative of that. So we're hopefully going to shift to there, to where our Twitter is just really fun and engaging, like our product is, like our project is.
Yeah, 100%. And then number 4, creative talent hires, artists, designers, and more.
Yeah, so recently we've been onboarding more creative talent. Some of them I think we're going to talk about tonight, right?
Yeah.
I think it's cool. We've been looking for talent not just for maybe future products within the adult fantasy universe, but we're also looking at talent for things like marketing, advertising, Twitter, and Discord to kind of liven these up a little bit more. I think it's really easy to think about adult fantasy as the NFT and then kind of neglect everything else around it. But what we really want to do is integrate everything into kind of one universe where we have storytelling across the Discord, across the Twitter, and in the advertising, and it all sort of coalesces into one big story universe that all these different parts are make it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. It's such a great way to frame it, that it really is. When we talk about a storytelling universe, we mean a storytelling universe, right? So there's going to be a lot of experimentation with what we can do upcoming in like Discord and Twitter and pretty much everything. Awesome. So that's April and May. Let's keep knocking this out. So now we are to the present. I believe that the present is the now.
Okay. That is the definition.
Yeah. May, we announced Banff. Banff. I just say it now. Banff.
Well, Southern twang there too.
Banff. Well, Banff.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, Banff. Banff is our Discord server participation token. You can earn Banff to unlock upcoming allow-less spots, giveaways, raffles, and you'll be able to use it to buy NFTs, artwork, and more. So I kind of like to think about this internally as like skee ball tickets, and that's how I refer to it, because I'm old, basically. But
still skee ball.
There's still skee ball, right?
Yeah.
There's still tickets with skee ball.
Oh yeah.
But kind of like how when you go to these places and you play the games and you get those tickets and you take them up to the counter, and based on the number of tickets you have, you actually get rewarded for that. And now normally those rewards are not that, a QB doll or some stuffed animal, whatever. We actually want to do something that some really cool stuff, right? Although if you want a stuffed Heinous doll, we can work on that as well. Not on the roadmap, but never say never. Who is it that suggested what's the character's name? Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
A Heinous Stretch Armstrong.
That was me. I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty brilliant. So you'll be able to use Banff. It will have utility, especially for, like we said, allow-less spots, giveaways, raffles, and future use for NFT purchases, artwork, and more. We certainly want to encourage that. And of course, how do you earn Banff? Pretty much you just bug Dusty, No, you actually just
Oh no!
no.
Open the doors, Todd.
The more DMs he receives.
Yeah,
the
just
more-
because
my
the more
DMs are already
bans you
filling
have.
up.
Yeah, just
now.
DM him. I'm sure he'll be fine with that. No, it's participation. We want you guys to really be excited and encouraged, and the more you participate, the more you win. Playing games, helping us out, all of that good stuff. We're not above bribery. It's fine. That was Banff in May. What else is in May? Big announcement. We are doing a new launch. This is a big one. We have something coming up at the end of May called a Mint Pass. Mint Pass number 1. Our Mint Pass is going to be very, very different than I think a lot of the other things you've seen out there. This Mint Pass is going to be a limited edition Ashcan release available to all Adult Fantasy S1 holders. It's going to be free plus gas. What the hell is an Ashcan? If you're not a super comic nerd like me,
I have no idea.
nobody else had
I
any
have
idea.
no idea.
Yeah, that's fine. An ashcan is an addition used to describe a collectible, digest-sized prototype and promotional materials that are produced and made available for mass consumption. If that sounds like gibberish, here are 2 examples from some old school examples. We've got the old school Savage Dragon one that came out in the 90s. This also came out in the 90s from Body Bags, which is a classic.
Are you gonna open it up?
Hell no.
Oh.
Come on now, that's crazy.
Mint condition.
Yeah, especially like,
Okay.
open them up.
I don't know. Show what's inside. No. Okay.
No. Here's I will tell you what's inside. Here's
But
what's
your
inside.
digital version.
The digital version you can open. So what we want to do is we want to use the concept of the Ashcan, but we also want to have some utility. So the Ashcan digital comic is going to contain an exclusive preview of upcoming releases. It's going to also, the actual NFT itself is going to feature the first ever static grading NFT. So right now we have the real-time grade where it's de-aging in real time. The static grading means that when you mint it, it will have a grade and it will stay that way. It will not go up. It will not go down. It is static. The number you get is the number you get. It would be blind and it would be randomly generated grading. So we don't know what it's going to be. When you mint it, you get it. And so the Mint Pass itself will have its own rarity structure. The first wave of it will be that static grading. The second way, and just as interesting, will be that the Mint Passes, because they're ash cans and because it has a preview of what's coming up, it also gives us an opportunity to do something really cool that nobody else has done. I'm gonna see if I have it over here. So we are going to include with these Mint Passes, each Mint Pass will have a variant sketch cover. So the covers will be like a sketch cover, and it will feature different artwork and different sketches, and each sketch will have different rarities. So if you've never seen a sketch cover, this is one that our friend Avery Butterworth did. So this is hand drawn. So this is a blank sketch cover, and then you would give it to the artist, and in this case, Avery sketched this out and hand colored that. So it's a hand drawn Green Lantern piece, which is freaking dope, right?
Were those pretty much exclusively sold at cons?
A lot of times they're sold at cons. They also sell them in stores. It just depends. Basically, the difference is that the covers on these, because these are physical, have like a nice bristle to it, so they're a good drawing surface, right? But we have the ability to do the same thing. So we're going to have different variant sketch covers, and each one will be different rarity in terms of quantity. And we are going to provide the most rare thing that you'll be able to randomly pull will be blank sketch covers. So there will be a few limited edition blank sketch covers. So imagine, it'll have the trade dress, which is the logo, and then it'll just be white. It'll be a blank cover. There will not be anything on it. And if you choose, you will be able to claim a one-of-one signed Adult Fantasy NFT commission from me. So you say, "Hey Todd, I got a rare cover, a sketch cover. I want a sketch of Devoid." awesome. I will do a sketch for you, and that will appear just like the autographs do right on your Adult Fantasy NFT Mint Pass. On top of that, and this is the most special, the top tier thing, for Adult Fantasy Season 1 complete Genesis set collectors. So we have very few people, a few of you have actually collected the entire set. So from the most common card all the way through Primordial, Mythic, you guys have the complete Genesis set. It's crazy. Honestly, I never thought anyone would do it, and I was wrong. So we certainly want to reward that, because that takes some serious effort, and you guys are hardcore, and we love you for that. So for Adult Fantasy Season 1 complete Genesis set collectors, you guys are going to receive a blank sketch NFT cover, so you don't have to worry about random pulls on the main draw. You will have access and will be able to get, for free plus gas, a blank sketch NFT cover. And if you choose to request the commission, not only will you get that 1-of-1 signed and 1-of-1 drawn Adult Fantasy NFT commission from me, but we will also send you the original art shipped anywhere in the world. So again, it's original art. I'm going to be drawing it. If you request it, you will get that in the mail. So you actually get an original art piece, physical, as well as the Mint Pass. Now, this is just on the Mint Pass itself. The other side of it is, well, what the hell do these Mint Passes do? Well, I'm not going to tell you that. That is not coming tonight. More info coming on what it actually is going to do. We will be telling you. We are going to tell you.
We are never tell you ever.
Yeah, we are going to tell you. The Mint Pass is coming out in May. You're going to learn very soon exactly what the Mint Pass is for. Tonight, we just wanted to kind of share exactly what is instantly cool about the Mint Pass and what it separates it from other things. The track of what the Mint Pass can be redeemed for, all of that will be coming very soon. But for tonight, I just wanted to share what is happening with the main Mint Pass. So I'm very, very excited for that. It's never been done before. So again, we're just saying, hey, let's do it. Why not claim really cool things? Does that sound good? Flint, Dusty, Melissa, anything?
Sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. There was info and yet a teaser.
All right.
A teaser for
Wicked.
for soon. I don't want to promise next week.
That's right. Things coming soon. All right. So that's the Mint Pass #1 and in May. What else is coming out in May? Well, because we have this new Mint Pass, that's not enough for us. We have to take on even more work in the month of May. So we decided to reinvent the mint process, because we've been the minting process kind of blows. And especially as a collector, there are certain problems that you run into. And in fact, our own community, you guys have brought this up over the course of multiple discussions, and we've taken notes. And what we've come up with is a solution where you never have to worry about exposing your cold wallet ever again. You'll be able to use your cold wallet for access verification and mint destination, and then you can use your hot wallet for minting. And we believe this is going to be the new standard. So every project will have, whether it's our project or a partner project, will have a page similar to this. And a project will be able, basically what you'll do is when you come to this page, you'll put in an ETH address or an address that will be the verification. It says, okay, hey, I'm a holder of this specific NFT, or whatever the allow list is. Hey, I'm on the allow list. You'll put your verification email in there, or sorry, your address email. You'll put your wallet address in there, and it'll verify. And not only will it verify that you have access to this mint, it'll also become the destination. So through a read-only application, you can connect your cold wallet without actually connecting your cold wallet, right? Without putting anything on your cold wallet at risk. Once you're verified, then you can go ahead and put in another address for minting, and that'll be the wallet that you actually connect to pay. So you'll be able to mint from a hot wallet or a trading wallet, and you'll be able to push that to a cold wallet or a vault or something else.
Yeah, so you don't have to mint it, and then transfer it, it'll go straight to where you want it to go in the cold wallet.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about that because it's absolutely terrifying nowadays. I mean, you just read stories on Twitter all day about this stuff. So I think the team, we're all pretty convinced that this is going to be the new standard very soon. So why not be at the forefront of that and kind of take that on? And so more information about this is coming up. And there is actually a little bit more to this page, which I will talk about in an upcoming slide that is going to be very, very exciting. So that is the new Mint page. The very first action of the Mint page will be Mint Pass #1. Super excited about that. And all the text on here is lorem ipsum. It's just dummy. This is the mock-up. So there's no spoilers in the text. Just saying. All right. Now let's talk about the future. So that's May. That's a pretty big May. And
I do hope to live code some of that once we get a couple more details ironed out. But yes.
Awesome. So here's the future. Let's talk about after May. So the Mint Pass comes out, new Mint page comes out, and everybody is happy and excited and ready for the next few months. This is always the good stuff. So, like, if you don't like spoilers, now's the time to turn off. I'm just saying. No, but everyone likes spoilers. You say that, but everyone stays because everyone likes spoilers.
Everyone likes spoilers.
Yeah. But you still have
kind of
spoilers,
seen
right?
enough, right? We've kind of seen enough. We can call it here.
I think so.
It's been a good stream.
It's been pretty
I
good.
am a little tired.
Oh, more.
Yeah. All right, cool. The future. Let's talk about it. So the first thing is going to be awesome. I'm so excited to announce this. We've been working on this for really a few months. Tonight, Team Adult Fantasy is super proud to announce our first partnership. We are working with Hail Draconis. All hail Draconis. In June, we are going to be doing a partnership with them. We are helping them launch one of their comic NFTs. It is, I don't want to go too much into detail, but I will say you can expect a pretty legit combo collab. As you can see, they did this amazing picture of Dildor and Heinous. I love this drawing so much. It's so cool. And they're going to be using Adult Fantasy technology. So they will be having a graded comic. It's going to be wicked. And that's all I'm going to say. More surprises surrounding that. All hail Draconis. These guys are awesome. Super cool team. Absolutely super cool. I'm so proud to work with them.
I just want to point out it's going to be a comic, not a card. So
yes.
Like a new thing.
Yes.
So here's like 3 new. Okay, now we're going to have 3.
Yes.
3 things.
So
card, ash can, comic.
So we're expanding our product line there pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. No more spoilers on that. No more spoilers.
Okay.
No more spoilers on that. Okay. None. Nope. That's it.
Nope.
But yeah, Hail Draconis is going to be awesome. We're super excited to do that. All right. Let's see. What else is happening? All Hail Draconis. Next, exclusive character drops also coming in June. So we are not done with Adult Fantasy characters. We are ramping up. So we are planning to do exclusive character drops starting in June on a regular basis. So we will be creating and dropping new characters. I'm just going to say on a regular basis. I won't. Should I give an actual date?
Regular basis.
Regular basis.
Regular basis.
Regular basis. Give us a little bit of an out. I'm just specific. Just saying. Regular basis. So it is, one of the things I will say is that growing up, especially with comics, one of the things that was so great about collecting comics was the regular nature. Every week or every month, you would go out, you would go to a comic shop on a specific day. For us, it was Wednesday. I'm a Wednesday's child. You get up, you go to the comic shop, you get your stuff, and you're digging it. So we want to create that same type of experience. And so we're going to talk just briefly about exclusive character drops, and this is going to be very exciting. So exclusive character drops. These will be new graded NFT characters from Adult Fantasy HQ. A few points on these character drops. The first, there will be tiers, or I should say, these are options that we are going to play with. So different drops will have different rules. But these are some of the options that we have now that Melissa and Flint have put in so much work. These are the kind of cool things that we can do, and even add to that mint page that you saw just a little bit ago. So the first is that we will be able to release exclusives for Adult Fantasy Season 1 Complete Genesis Set collectors and point qualifiers. What does that mean? Well, we always want to give everyone who collects deserves to get something special. And the level at which you collect should also play into that. So if you have a complete Genesis set, meaning you have everything from the most common card all the way up to Primordial, there may be a certain variant or colorway or character drop that only you can access. On top of point qualifiers. What's a point qualifier? Well, we planned on this from day one. If you look on the back of the Adult Fantasy card, you will notice that each character tier has a point value. Those point values allow us to offer exclusives specifically to someone who hits a certain value, right? So if you complete a Genesis set or you meet the qualification for points, then you may have access to an exclusive character drop that is only exclusive to you. So that would probably be, I would assume that would be like the most rare thing. Next up, Adult Fantasy S1 holder exclusives. If you're a holder of S1, you are beloved. We love you. And you deserve something special as well. So there will be certain, or there could be, maybe, certain things that are specific for you that as long as you hold an AFS1, you will have the benefit of getting this drop. And I should say this right now, and you're going to hear me say this a lot. The Adult Fantasy Season 1 Genesis will always be the king card, meaning as long as you hold that card, you are going to always get access to the coolest shit. It is the top card, right? So the AFS1 holder exclusives, that is for you guys. Also, our new tech and our new mint page and all of the stuff that we're setting up with these exclusive character drops also means that we have the ability to do collab exclusives. So we can verify access, or you can verify access by holding both, for instance, an Adult Fantasy Season 1 card and the collaboration partner's NFT, right? So we can say, hey, I own one of theirs and one of yours. Cool, you get access to this piece, right? And finally, there will be a tier for public releases. We always want to reach out, and we always want to bring in new people to the fold, or for collectors. If you already have an Adult Fantasy Season 1 piece and you want to get another card and kind of continue on the complete set nature of it, we will always have a public release. And these public release tiers may include their own rarity tier variants. Okay, so we're going to be stacking stuff and kind of combining stuff here, right? Good question, Regis. I'll pop that in Q&A. Does that make sense, everybody? So we've been thinking about this top to bottom, left and right, and it's pretty awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so exclusive character drops beginning in June. What else in June? Adult Fantasy IRL. So I'm going to be at NFT NYC. I'm also going to be at Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are going to hang out. So if you're going to be in New York City or if you live there, we're going to grab a drink. We're still working on the place and the time, but we'll start making a list and kind of putting people together, see how many people want to show up and hang out. Same thing with Heroes Con. We can find a pub, hang out, and chill out. Totally informal. We're just gonna have a good time and have some beers and eat some good food, right? And just talk about the NFT industry and just chill. So I would love to meet you guys in person. I wish the whole team was going, but I have children. It's kind of they ruined everything. No, I'm together. It is really difficult to go together. Yeah, it's really hard. Anyway, so Adult Fantasy IRL June. Let's hang out. NFT NYC, Heroes Con.
I might be able to go to Heroes Con.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, the grandparents live close enough. I could probably.
Yeah, we'll just kick our kids to the curb and we'll do that. So another Another awesome benefit for
Oh,
adult
yeah.
fantasy holders. Let's hang out and let's chill. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So that is also happening in June. What else? We are not done.
No.
We are not done. There's more coming here. All right. July, we have the Origin comic #1. Another thing I'm so excited to talk about.
This is so cool.
This is so effing cool. Origin comic #1 featuring the origin of the intolerable D Void with art by Avery Butterworth and story by Zachary Arbella. For those who have been hopping on the lore games on Thursdays, you have met Avery and Zach. They're fantastic. Avery is a phenomenal talent. He's worked with Heavy Metal Magazine. He's worked with Image Comics. He's worked with White Wolf and done a lot of RPG illustrations. And he's bringing that to adult fantasy. The first thing he's going to do is the D Void Origin comic. And there he is in chat, Studio 7.62. That is Avery. What's up, Avery?
Hey, Avery.
Everybody say hi to Avery. He's freaking amazing. Look at this illustration. Come on. Look how dope this is. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. So it is going to be excellent. It's going to be an NFT, of course. And how do you get it? Well, we're going to let you know about that in the coming days. So do not worry. All shall be revealed. Just know for tonight that in July, the Origin comic #1 will be coming out. And Avery is going to be drawing it. And Zachary will be writing it. I will talk about Zachary here in a minute. Because. All right.
It might be next.
Because I don't know.
Is it
I'm trying to
next?
remember like where my stack other things are, and I don't actually remember.
The order of the
I don't
slides.
remember the order of the slides in my head, so I'm totally like I'm not really sure. So that's July. Origin comic #1. What else is happening in July and August? July and August, we have been working incredibly hard on the adult fantasy site and something that we're calling the Omnibus. The adult fantasy site, so you guys know if you go to adultfantasy.io, it's old now. It even has old information on it. Totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's getting completely revamped and redone. And we are well underway of this. The adult fantasy site is going to be HQ for what we do moving forward, especially for the collaboration and the lore building elements. A couple of key points on the adult fantasy site Omnibus. The first thing that we're going to be launching are rewards and loot box access. What that means is that we will have the ability to, our partners and us will have the ability to do NFT giveaways, raffles, and contests through the app. So we won't have to use just Discord anymore. We'll actually be able to do really cool giveaways and contests within our own app and within really for holders that are already associated with the platform.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be really, really freaking cool.
Yes, there was a small taste of it in a flurry of a week, learning how to do sign in with Ethereum. And so we will continue on that. Now we've been building like what do you get when you sign in.
Yep. So. And so #2, we have a digital ever-growing omnibus archive of incentivized lore creation. So as the lore games are sort of the top 30,000 foot view, the other part of this is building the foundation up. Again, we're creating an ecosystem so that by the end of this, anybody will be able to come in and take advantage of what we've created and either, the goal really is to either use adult fantasy characters and kind of build them up or create your own characters and build those up and really kind of evolve this universe together. So with the digital ever-growing omnibus, this will allow you at first to get access via your NFT. So if you just using D Void, since we just showed her, if you have a D Void NFT, you will have access to the basically her omnibus, to her lore book, and you will be able to create lore within that actually adds to her story. And the more people that contribute, the more idea generation is there. Very similar to what we were doing with lore games, where it's not about making this masterwork beautiful novel or this, Breaking Bad interlaced storyline thing. Really, it's about just putting ideas out there and letting them float, and your ideas inspire somebody else with their ideas, and their ideas inspire somebody else. And what ends up happening is that when we come back together as a group, there's always going to be something in there that has an aha moment where you're like, yo, that's really cool. And that's the piece that gets expanded on that actually becomes canon. So the thing that we did, and we spent so much time debating and talking about and building early on, the reason that there's only 25 characters in season 1 and not 10,000 different PFPs is specifically so that someone who has devoid is surrounded by another couple hundred people that have devoid, and together people can work to create this lore like together. It's no one's working alone in a silo. We can all work on this stuff together as a team. And so the digital ever-growing omnibus archive, I'm super excited about. It is sort of like number one base level of going from bottom up, and I can't wait. And then finally, one of the things that will be coming to the AF site omnibus is great history visualization for each one of your adult fantasy NFTs. This will be both in the player and in the site. And Flint, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, one of the main things that we are doing is upgrading the backend, and that lets us do a lot of new features like history tracking. So, with this bullet point here, we'll be able to show in the player the changes to the grade of a card over time. And we'll also, we're very likely going to put that in website form as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And so just so that everyone's aware, what we're going to be doing is the goal is to launch the site in July. And when you see it, when you get into the back end of it, it's going to be, I'll tell you right now, it is going to be sparse. We're hoping to launch with that rewards and loot box access, but don't expect like this crazy fully featured app. Like that is, Melissa and I have been building apps. I mean, we did this as a consultancy for how many years?
5 to 7.
Yeah, long time. And so one of the things that we learned is that it's much better to work in an iterative nature and just launch something small, fix it, see what works, and get input from people who are actually using it. That's us and you guys, and then build on top of it, right? So we certainly have plans. We'll launch with the loot box access and rewards, and then we will start moving into the omnibus, and then from there it'll expand outward. And I'm going to sneeze now.
Bless you.
All right.
Lots of pollen.
Yeah, it's really pollen-y here. That's what I'm feeling. It's a lot of pollen. So that will be the Adult Fantasy site omnibus. It's coming out, and really we're going to be scaling it and growing it for years to come. So there's that. I'm going to sneeze again, but I'm just going to keep going. All right, what is next? Because we're not done yet. I think we have more. I think we do. I think we have just a couple more. We're moving into August. So what else is happening? Adult Fantasy site omnibus. What else could we do?
I don't know.
You don't remember? I don't know. That was weak. Is that my weak?
I think that was your sneeze.
Yeah, my sneeze was weak. I know. I'm trying to
get away from them. It was pretty loud here. Move away from the mic. All right, go ahead. Go.
All right. Adult
that
Fantasy
was
Novel
the next
NFT.
slide. Okay.
So in August, the Adult Fantasy Novel NFT will be released. This is a fixed point in time adult fantasy adventure written by Zachary Arbella, lore game participants, summoners, and community invitees. So this will be a book, a direct result of the lore games information that the community is putting in. Zachary Arbella is writing it. This is an example of a cover of one of his other books. Zachary has written 13 novels, and they're fantastic. He knows this stuff, and we are so excited that he's taking it upon himself to jump into the adult fantasy universe. Some of the ideas that he's come up with in the lore games, and some of the things that we've talked about behind the scenes. Oh man, like genuinely, I'm really excited. So the Adult Fantasy Novel NFT comes out in August, and again, how do you get it? What is it about? All that good stuff will come in time. I will let you know how it works. I promise. In the meantime, just know that the novel will be coming out and it will tie in to the bigger universe to kind of create these little like push pin moments so that we can work around it and start creating lore around it. So now we'll have some points that we can create stories that forever really that lead into this event, and stories beyond it that lead into the next event and away from this event, and the repercussions of what happened during the story. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. And that is coming out in August. I think we have one more thing.
Do we have one more?
I think we have one more.
Okay.
Okay, you guys ready for one more?
One more.
One more.
The end. No.
Just one more. The end. Peace out.
I think it's
All right, one more. We have the OCT RPG August, September. So I know you guys have been waiting for this. This is a TTRPG based game with a twist. This is Adult Fantasy's community-driven content mechanism for creating new characters, lore, and NFTs. So this image here is a little not representative. This is an early thing a tool that we were using internally for this RPG. But I still wanted to show it because I wanted to show some of the progress without giving you too many spoilers. So it won't look anything like this, but it does. It's a cool little picture of like Brooklyn and how things look and how things kind of are thinking. Some of the game references you might pick up on. What will I say about the OCT RPG? Here's what I'll say about it. We are firmly based in the world of storytelling and character franchise creation. So everything that we do is geared towards building a universe of stories and characters. And so a lot of times what that means is that we're going to zig when other people zag. So right now there's so much talk about metaverse and everyone's jumping into voxels and sandbox and 3D and Decentraland and other side and all of this stuff. We're not interested in that at this moment. What we're interested in is creating games and creating situations and playable scenarios for people to create stories and characters. So if the lore games are the 30,000 foot view, and then we have other little points in time like the origin comics and the novels and other things that are coming that kind of tie that 30,000 foot view into reality, into like a real pinpoint lore canonized universe. Now we're starting to build up from the ground up where we can actually start to have a system where you can create new characters, you can create new lore, you can have these really cool battles, and then through community effort and community voting and community ideas, we can actually have some of these stories and lore and characters become canon. And so what the goal of the OCT RPG is to create these stories and also to discover new characters that can be introduced into the adult fantasy universe, and a way for us to put a spotlight on creators and talent and you guys, right? If you're creating a story, it's not enough just to just create something and put it out there. It's so important to put a spotlight on you and lift you up for your work. So things like the omnibus, where there's kind of like this mixing pot of ideas, can be used as fodder to move into something like the OCT RPG, where we create stories and then as a community vote on what is really cool and what kind of stories should we create, and then actually play that out in a really, I think, a very unique way, and then grow from there. So one of the things that I've talked about internally, and I'm sure I've mentioned it on stream a few times, is that it's not about making adult fantasy a game. Okay, the problem that I have personally with companies or brands that try to take their brand and make it a game is that it's awesome if people love the game, but if people don't like the game, they end up bombing your product because they associate the game with your brand, right? So we want to make sure that what we're doing is our job is to create story. Not to say that you can't make games, we're making tons of them, but our games have a very specific purpose, and that is to create story and to create to further light up the imagination and move the universe forward. Does that make sense? right?
Makes sense.
So that is pretty much covering what we have coming up for the next, God, how many months? 4 months?
I would say only 4 months.
Yeah.
That was like a ton of stuff.
It's amazing. So imagine all of the stuff that we showed you, plus we've got those regular character drops, and we have other partnerships in the works. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out, like bam, bam, bam. Like this is the ramp up, guys. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope we're ready.
We're ready.
The review of the first couple months was
setting the stage,
knowing that we wanted to do these a variety of things. What can we build to support that?
Right. So
tech-wise.
From January till now has really been just setting the stage for it and really just slamming heads against the wall to figure out, okay, what do we need to support this, so that we can just get past that point and really just focus on, for the most part, creation and development, right?
Yeah.
So with that, it is time for Q&A.
Woo. All right, you have to scroll way.
Boy, I know we got a lot of questions.
The first one was a good one. Yeah.
Let's see. We got.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Okay, so
there we go.
So Ray just has a question. I'm going to pass this to Flint.
Yeah.
Oh. So I assumed that when you mint the NFTs on the blockchain, but I was unable to click in the card itself to view it. What would happen if whatever happened was permanent today? Help me understand. Thanks.
Yeah, so it's a really good question, and the gist of it is, most NFT projects have a on-chain and off-chain component. There's the on-chain component. You buy it, it's yours until you sell it, and that's permanent, right? There's almost always off-chain data gets supplied into OpenSea that is, it's not on the chain. And really the crux of this question is, our goal is to try and get as much of that data on chain as possible. So for context, today we had a little bit of an outage with our off-chain stuff, and for a little while people couldn't view our players. One of the main things that we're doing with this big tech push that we're doing right now, this redesign that we're doing, is taking all the stuff that's technically possible to put on chain, whether it's the Ethereum chain or IPFS, try to push everything there, so we're a lot less susceptible to outages, and a lot more is permanent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like the thing that happened, this short outage that we had today was AWS, right?
Yeah. which is rare, but it does happen. So yeah, we're trying to push as much of our assets onto permanent decentralized systems. And for the stuff that is just not technically possible to do right now with blockchain technology, for example, our grading service, that stuff will need to remain off chain. But like any blockchain project, we just need to make that stuff as highly available as possible, as less susceptible to outages as possible. So it's something that we're mindful of. It's a continuous push, on our part, and it's something we're going to keep working at.
Yeah, and just to add to that point, like I do think that eventually someone will invent sort of the AWS for blockchain, meaning that I do believe that eventually all of the stuff that we can't put on chain right now, that we have to have on local servers, like every NFT project. Mm-hmm. I do believe that eventually that they will find a way to be able to put that on chain, or at least in a more decentralized way, so that the uptime is almost guaranteed. It's just we're ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff, It's kind of cutting edge is cutting edge,
Not to get too deep in the weeds, but one of the main problems that it's both a benefit and a drawback of blockchain is everything's public, right? So if you have game mechanics that are secret, like our aging process, or if you're doing random character generation, you don't want people to game that process, but by necessity, some of it has to be off of blockchain right now. It's unfortunate. I hope the technology changes and evolves, and as soon as it does, we'll be jumping on that real quick. So,
yeah, awesome. Master Chief says, "Pay me in Banff." Let's see what else. Mastiff says, "Awesome, love hearing about the plan." Thanks, Mastiff. That's awesome. J-Raw wants 1 million BAM for the reaction pose. Master Chief's just talking about Chuck E. Cheese tokens. We all remember Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
What do we talk?
I mean,
there are people who remember that Chuck E. Cheese is still a thing.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese is still around.
It's still a thing.
Yeah. We got 8Pass. Yeah, 8Pass. We actually have something called 8Pass is a good name. Chris says, I have some ash cans from Comic-Con back in the 90s. Yeah, man. Aha, see? Ash cans are the shiz. I'm not gonna cuss. Shiz. They're fantastic. Ash cans are awesome. J. Ross says, "Hey Todd, my buddy has told me about zines the other day, and I've been in love with them. Kind of like an ash can, yeah. I'm sure you know of them. Discovering them gave me ideas to implement them in a way. Yeah, 100%, man. Zines are awesome. I used to collect a whole bunch of them just to have them. There's a classic one called Comet Bus that ran for like a decade. The content was always a little crazy, to be honest. It was like a crazy punk hippie lingo, but lots of like photocopy machine. It was all done with photocopy machine and distributed all over the country, and lots of cool collages and stuff like that. So I would look up Comet Bus. Just maybe not in terms of like content, but just in terms of style, it's pretty cool. Highly recommend it. And yeah, ash cans are awesome as well. Then he goes on to say, "Hail Draconis." Willie D says, "Dildor and Heinous were meant to be." Master Chief says, "Who did the artwork?" This was for the Dildor Heinous thing. And you know what? I got to get the guy's name. I'm so bad. I don't know the artist's name yet, but I will.
Yeah,
because he did a fantastic job. I believe it's one of the artists that does a lot of Hail Draconis' comics. So he's done a lot of work for them before. It's really good, right? Yeah, they did a great job. I agree 100%. Rages says, "How many characters are there currently again?" There are 25. 25 characters. 16? No. I just said that. Oh, right. People are talking about showing up in Charlotte. Yeah, got to do it. Got to come out. Carrot says, "Gonna need you to get your crew up to Canada land." We love Canada. So, yeah, we should. That is something we could absolutely do. Master Chief says, "Devoy is my favorite characters line." Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Let's see what we get.
Chinese checkers. I also thought that.
Very much.
Which one was this? The
game board.
The board.
RPG.
Yeah.
Shape
It does look
with
like
all
Chinese
the little-
checkers. Yeah. It also I always when I see those shapes, I always think of Catan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Anyway, Willie D says, "With these crazy ETH gas lately, any plans on looking at other chains, Pulse or others?" That is a good question. So right now we're exclusively on ETH. We've been doing a little bit of talk on there. Maybe I do think there's some use cases that we can think about for Polygon for certain things. I think we'll primarily be ETH for the foreseeable future. When Pulse comes out, we'll certainly look at it. I'm very interested in Pulse. I've been following that. I've been following Richard's stuff. I support Hex. So yeah, I'll be really interested when Pulse Chain comes out to see what it does and what gets adopted. The only challenge with these other chains is that they're not as stable as ETH. ETH is like this granddaddy, and I know it's got a pain in the ass with the gas, but it's always there. Like, I'm not going to name names, but there are other NFTs in the space that launched games, and they decided to migrate everything to Polygon, and the entire network shut down, or the chain was too slow, and that I mean they migrated their entire system over there, and all of a sudden when they launched, they realized it doesn't work. Sol has had outages multiple times, like every few weeks. It seems like Sol's like the entire thing is down, like the whole place. So, it kind of goes back. It kind of goes back to the whole cutting edge thing, where you kind of have to use your best guess. And right now, I think ETH is the chain for collectors primarily. Doesn't mean that there isn't a place for these other chains. And we're certainly always on the lookout for use cases and for interesting opportunities. And that includes other things too. Like, we've got ETH, but then what happens if should we accept Ape? Because I think Ape, personally, this is my own personal belief, but I think Ape is going to be a game, like the metaverse coin. I feel strongly that. Again, do your own research, not financial advice, yada, yada. But to me, I see people adopting it. I can see people adopting it as a metaverse token. So does that mean we accept that eventually? I don't know. So, or allow our partners to do that. Like, these are things that we have to think about. So we're always on the lookout. It's a really good question. Mastiff says, Sol relies on AWS. Oh, so maybe there you go. So
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know why.
It's worth mentioning with all that, we are, talking about being on ETH for the foreseeable future, but there's a ton of room there to reduce our gas prices, and Melissa's been working crazy hard on making some awesome improvements there. So
yeah, I think it's just case by case basis too. We've had some ideas for things, just blue sky stuff, nothing that we can announce, but that it might not make sense to do it on ETH, and it might make perfect sense to do it on Polygon. So it really, I think if we do things on different chains, it'll be at least at first it'll be specific to the thing that we're launching, right? I certainly can see use cases. It's just a matter of what it is and when it comes up. Oh, Master Chief says it does not. I'm a Sol developer and familiar with the chain. Awesome. Huh. We'll have to talk about that, Master Chief. We're not opposed to it.
Definitely not.
Every chain has its point, has its greatness. Massive says, do you think Ape will have a chain and a token like Ronin, Immutable, IMX, etc.? Maybe. The interesting thing about that is they came out with that statement saying, "Oh, sorry for breaking Ethereum. We're just going to have to create our own chain because we're so cool." And then immediately, of course, everybody was like, took them to task for it. And like within 30 minutes, maybe an hour, one of the key board members came out and was like, "This doesn't represent us. We've never heard of this. The founders have never heard of this." Like, there's this basically blew it up. And I'm sure somebody got fired for that. Or maybe, I don't know. But apparently they walked it back, and the official word is that is the first that anybody had ever heard of it. I don't, who knows? I don't. They're biting so much right now. I was actually shocked when they said that, because they're already spending, they're already spending so much of their resources, just not just money, but time and energy on creating the otherverse, that I think would be a huge problem to also tackle creating their own chain at the same time. Like, I think that'd just be crazy. Like, they did ApeCoin and they launched ApeCoin, and then they launched Open or Other Side. You know what I mean? So granted, they were probably working on it in tandem, but that's a little different than creating your own chain. So I think it's interesting, and they might, I don't know. If they do, I think that who knows? I don't know if that would benefit them actually at this point. Yeah, Master Chief, I'm always interested about Solana developing. I don't actually know much about it, so we should talk more about it in general in Discord, because I'm always interested to learn. Well, guys, I think that might be it. Do we have any more? If we don't have any more questions, of course, we'll always answer more questions in chat in general, in Discord. Other than that, what I'd like to say, of course, is thank you, because you guys make this possible. We're nothing without you guys at all, and everything that we're doing is, with you in mind, with the community in mind, and everything that we're building is really set to make what we think is going to be a brilliant project. And you guys know we're in this for the long haul. So here's to an amazing next 6 months or so, because boy, we got our work cut out for us. But would you guys like to say anything else, or what do you think?
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks for coming. This is the
thanks for
latest I've
coming.
been up in a while.
Yeah, Melissa's like, it's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I go to bed early.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody's got to
One of
get
us
with the
should.
kids.
One of us should go to bed early. Master Chief says, a great update. The roadmap is jam-packed. Thank you so much. Willie D says, so good. Thanks, team. Now, thank you guys, honestly.
Thank you.
So I think so Melissa's going to go to bed, but Dusty, I know we have something special coming up, which is the after party.
I think we do.
Yeah, we got something good tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
I haven't figured it out yet, but we're not going to tell them that. It's going to be great.
just between it's you and us and the rest of the people on the stream.
Hell yeah.
Sounds
Massive
good.
thank you. J-Raw, thank you. All right, guys. Love you so much. We will see you in Discord. And with that, thank you again. Thanks for coming.